Welcome everybody to Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. I'm your co-host Steve Markey, and always joined by
Charles is here.
And our always faithful standby coming.
Person has nothing else to do.
Yes.
It's slow. It's like a regular.
Eric the Wigs Wigington, our regular. He's gonna be on staff soon.
Fat guys in a week.
So we're running a little late this week, Labor Day weekend, and Charles has had a little bit of a weekend himself.
It's been a rough couple 72 hours.
Yes. But we're getting things ironed out. We are trying the Facebook Live. We got that up and running, so you can see all of my fatness and all its glory.
Steve's dressed for being on
Yeah,
today, so
forgot to wear a suit.
sweatpants.
And but we're gonna start off. We're gonna have a live taste testing, and then we're gonna have some NFL previews, some TV shows, a review, some college football, and a little bit of news at the end. And then Wiggs has a rant on everyone asking him for money, which I kind of agree with him there. But first, we're gonna try something that we've brought in here so everyone can see it. I don't know if you can see it these are Ripple Myers chips.
Well, I figure since last week you guys had the pepperoni chips. Those didn't really sound bad, but when I saw steak and onion potato chips, I figured he's gonna be terrible, and we're gonna have to confirm.
Yeah, we're trying to eat the most disgusting things possible on the podcast, and these aren't even like name brand; they're straight Myers.
Because who would make a steak and onion chip? Let's be honest, it's lazy coming up with that.
Let's give it the whiff test. You know, it just smells like Ruffles, to be honest.
Does it smell like Funyuns or anything like that?
No, actually.
Has it got a Funyun whiff? Let me get a whiff first. It doesn't smell like anything, you're right. There's really no taste at all.
So let's go ahead and give this one a whirl.
They're extremely salty like the pepperoni chips.
It tastes like steak seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some McCormick steak seasoning on some chips.
They also have like a char grill taste to them on some level, like a barbecue-y taste. Ain't bad.
Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah. Surprisingly, okay.
Yeah.
I take these over pepperoncinis, I'll be honest with you there. From someone who's lucky enough to have 2 weeks of these delicious chips.
Yeah.
Meyer Ripple steak and onion chips are not bad.
Yeah. If you like the McCormick steak seasoning on your steaks,
Charles go back
Charles liked them so much he went back and got another.
Like I said, they're a big time barbecue grill taste to them. Crazy. I don't know what kind of reverse crazy engineering goes into that taste, but yeah. I'd give that like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, they're okay. Wouldn't mind them. I did try the Lay's ketchup ones at home. Oh, disgusting. It's like taking a spoon of ketchup and just sticking it in your mouth. It's so gross.
I don't like ketchup to begin with.
It was not good.
Well, I tried, there's another flavor too, like jalapeno and something or other, like jalapeno bacon or something like that. That wasn't bad, but they really didn't taste like, oh my god, anything different or anything weird.
You know what's funny about all these flavored chips we keep trying? I'm the most basic of bitches. I just eat plain Frito-Lay chips.
Barbecue chip or nothing?
No.
Sour cream and cheese or whatever?
No, don't like any of that. Just a plain Frito-Lay or a plain Better Made or a plain Ruffle. That's
do you like a regular crispy Lay, or do you like the rippled ones or the wavy?
Well, if I got dip, I want to go Ruffles.
Yeah,
you know.
the structure.
Kettle chips. You guys something firm lost under the dip.
Better Made is the worst with dip. You'll get like 5,000
shrapnel.
Yes, so pointless.
Again, that's a Michigan thing for people, our international, listeners.
Yeah, all our Japanese listeners out there.
Ohio and Illinois is
yeah, exactly.
So this week, to continue on with our NFL preview, college opened up this weekend. We'll talk about that a little later. But the NFL starts up next weekend, and we're going to go to South. The Dirty Birds, New Orleans, Carolina Panthers, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wiggs, who wins that division, the NFC South?
Saints.
I hate
All
you.
with the Saints.
Don't like
I think
Colin
the Saints. The Saints have made a big time decision last year to draft defense. That was always their problem. Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, one of the best receivers in the league.
At least he went out on a limb. Thank you.
I'm not picking Tampa.
I
mean, I think it's gonna be a $2.
Carolina looked awful in the preseason game that I watched. I don't know what's going on down there.
The preseason's been tough to watch.
Carolina's got that whole owner situation where he was racist. He's got to sell, and Cam Newton has a falling out with Shelton Benjamin or something. They got a whole bunch of crap going on down there. So Carolina But the winner of the division is the Dirty Birds. That's all there is to
I'm
it.
glad we're on live so we could see Steve.
The Dirty Birds. The Dirty Birds.
And the internet was on fire.
Trending because of that.
Yeah, Matt Ryan, too much offense for them in the South. And then second year with how do you say his name? The offensive coordinator? Sarkisian?
Steve Sarkisian?
Steve Sarkisian, yeah, his second year. I still couldn't
He was
say
the
it.
drunk, right? He was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy-
They got him some more booze. Brandon showed him how to use those little ice cubes.
Yeah,
He's
got
good to
him a
go.
bourbon cube.
Yeah, he got him a bourbon cube. They're good to go down there. I go with the Dirty Birds. Charles, what are your thoughts?
I like Wing's pick. I think that's cool to go out on a limb, but I'm still going to stick with Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
And again, I'm
I
Wayne.
think the Saints are going out on a limb.
Yeah, that's true.
If I pick
They were 11
Carolina,
and
that's
5
going
last
out on a
year.
limb. I think it's going to be 1-2 between Atlanta and New Orleans.
Yeah, that's true. But I predict at least 2 more Uber drivers will get molested by Jameis Winston by the end of the season.
Oh.
That's a good prediction there.
He's going to give so many good speeches
yeah,
at halftime.
yeah, you know.
He's going to lick his
He's a-
fingers with the wins.
I can't eat that win. Eat that win. Weird ass. So then we head over to the AFC South, and we got the Indianapolis Colts. We've got the Houston Texans. We've got Tennessee Titans, and Jacksonville Jaguars. Charles, what are your thoughts?
Jacksonville turned it on last year. I think that, if they can keep going in the same direction, they seem to be a pretty good pick. I want Houston to do good, but you know what I mean? JJ Watt's made out of glass, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Houston's all hinges on Sean Watson.
Yes,
Yeah.
If he comes back off that knee injury and he's good, he's good.
they got to put a good receiving core too. Fuller and what's his Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
They got
DeAndre
Hopkins.
DeAndre.
Did we say it right? I don't know. I know I say Tyrod wrong.
Wasn't he like dating Iggy Azalea or something like that? Yeah.
So, I want to say Tennessee because that outside of the Dirty Birds, that's my other favorite team. But I'm not gonna say Tennessee.
What's going on in Tennessee? Like, you talking about like the biggest wallpaper team of the league? Like, what is?
Well, Vrabel's their new,
Yeah, you
their
know,
new
Mike
coach.
Vrabel's a coach.
How old
Never
are we
any
getting?
head coaching experience any level.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, he's like one of those rah guys. Who knows what he can do? He could be great. He could be.
A sign of getting old as a sports fan was everyone you watch playing or now either in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame or coaching.
Yeah.
Another sign of getting old. But Marcus Mariota, who knows? He had 12 touchdowns and 15 interceptions last year.
That's good ratio.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. They were 9-7. I see them falling back a little, 8-8, 7-9. Jacksonville, I think everyone's going to be expecting them this year. They're going to have a rougher schedule this year.
Loading up the box.
Yeah, so I see them at 9-7, maybe 10. I really think Houston wins this division, followed by.
If they can stay healthy.
Well, it doesn't matter about the other. The other 3 will all be 800 or lower. So Houston wins it, I think.
So you,
If
one
they
guy gets
stay
out of that division.
Well, Houston
Yeah.
wins at 9-7, 10-6.
Yeah, 10-6, Houston probably
It's a
wins that division.
Dirt ball division.
Yes. Well, I mean, the Colts are still just garbage. They got Luck and 21 bums.
Who's
I
the
mean,
head coach now?
Frank Wright.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah, there you
quarterback
go.
I watched play live, and now
Yeah.
he's a coach. So I like the Houston. You like Jacksonville, and who do you?
Well, I got a few stats for today's podcast.
Okay,
First
oh.
one.
That's why we bring him
Sounds
back.
like
Right, man.
research.
I'm like the Schwab today.
Yeah. All right.
Since 2009, the division has been won back-to-back years by teams: Colts, Texans, Colts, Texans. Trends are going to continue. I'm going with Jacksonville. I think their defense is stout. They've lost a few guys on the receiving core with Lee out for the year with knee injury. And then Allen Robinson going to the Bears. But I think they're going to win the division.
Even though everyone's expecting them this year, and they're gonna have a harder schedule.
Well, yeah, but I don't think the rest of the division is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably
Houston-
sweep Tennessee and Colts. Houston, who knows, man? Houston.
Well, Houston's gonna be good at least in the first 4 weeks when everyone's healthy.
Until
After
J.J.
that,
Watt goes out for the year again.
but they should be used
And
to
his
playing
leg
without.
shatters.
They should be used to playing without him by this
Yeah,
point,
at
right?
this point, someone should have stood up.
So there's a little look at the NFL South as far as the AFC and the NFC. I like the Houston and the Dirty Birds. Wiggs is going with New Orleans and Jacksonville. Charles with Jacksonville and the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, so what division we got left for next week?
At the West.
We're going out west.
Oh, man.
You can see Garofalo and Get to date porn stars.
Exactly. He regrets that.
No, he doesn't.
So, understandably, Charles has been a little busy this weekend, so maybe some of you didn't get to see a lot of TV or movies this weekend. But I did finish all 8 episodes of the new Jack Ryan TV show
Now,
on Amazon.
Before you get into it, I
Mm-hmm.
can just tell you it looks great. Like, I don't know. Amazon struggles with their originals for me. I don't like any Amazon originals. Again, I think that. What's the one with the alternate World War II High Castle, Man? The High Castle?
That's a great concept.
Great premise and
Terrible
just
execution.
awful execution. Yeah. So, again, looking at this show, I'm like, man, this looks good. You got John Krasinski in a crazy action over the top. What do you think?
All right, since I'm the only one seeing it, I'm not going to try to ruin any spoilers, but in most of the commercials, you've seen the highlights. It's a good show, I'll say that first. I like John Krasinski. He plays a good character. The closest thing I say it's close to is, remember the show 24 with Jack Bauer?
Yeah. A lot of people loved it. Not my thing.
I like the first 2 seasons. After that, they just beat that dead horse way too long.
I know.
But
He would have 8 heart attacks at this point.
yeah. So it's only 8 episodes, but here's the weird thing about the show. They need to tweak some stuff for the second season. First, he's behind the desk, most of it. He's a CIA analyst.
They said it's slow. The first couple
Yeah,
of views.
well, every episode's the same thing. It's 45 minutes of him at the office and his boss, the black guy from
What's
The
he
Wire.
doing? Like research? I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
he's an
not.
I swear to God. He's at the office. He analyzes numbers. So he sees, I don't know why I'm using my
Trends
hands
and
there,
all
but
this
yeah,
kind
he
of thing.
sees trends overseas.
Thank God we're broadcasting live, so you can see the pantomime.
So he does a lot of numbers. So him and his boss for 45 minutes are just trying to find the terrorist, where he's at, what he's doing. And then they realize where he's at. He's in Yemen. So boom, they jump on a plane and fly to Yemen.
Fast forward, we're in Yemen now.
So then the last 10 to 15 minutes of the episode, action-packed. It's crazy. Stuff's going down.
That's what you come for.
Rinse and repeat 8 times.
So it's not. So let me ask the question. So it's not. There's no storylines that are carrying out throughout this. Every episode is kind of a different number
it's the same.
terrorist.
It's the same terrorist guy they're after for 8 episodes, but
He just gets away at the end of every episode.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't go after him right away. They go after his cell. They go after things he's doing.
Yeah.
So they don't know a
cripple
lot,
him by going after X, Y, and Z.
and they don't know a lot about him. So they're trying to piece it all together and figure it out. The last episode is different. The eighth episode is pretty much all action the whole episode because that's everything's boiled down to that. The other problem with it is his boss. He's like nervous and young in this, so he doesn't go out on the field a lot. So every time,
John Krasinski.
yes, Jack Ryan, the title character.
Yeah.
So
He's naive and young.
Yeah, he's like a
Right.
super Boy Scout. He wants to do everything by the book, and he's really nervous, and he's really antsy a lot when he goes out on the field. Where his boss is an older black guy. He's off the wire. I can't think.
Steve.
I'm just describing the guy. He's he's on the wire. You recognize him when you see him, but he's chilled, very experienced. He'll bend the rules to get what. And then, like a lot of the action beats at the end of the show, the boss does like most of the stuff you think Jack Ryan should be. Yeah, so he's in a lot of the shootouts, and he takes down a lot of the guys. Where you're like, why am I watching Jack Ryan? I want to watch his boss, which I think his name's Jim Greer or something along that lines in the show. So that's another weird thing. So like, it's never just Jack Ryan goes out at the end. It's him and his boss. And his boss does. I mean, Jack Ryan sees a little action, but his boss does more of the important stuff. So it's kind of weird how they set that up.
But again, is it big budget? It looks great by the previews and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I
Like,
mean-
it looks like a true big budget action movie.
It's pretty much the same budget, probably like a 24 head. So there's a lot in the office. There's a lot of analyzing. There's a lot of trying to figure out. There's a lot in a boardroom where they're in telecom with the president trying to get approval to do things. There's a lot of that too.
Sounds pretty slow.
I'm telling you.
3/4 of it's a little.
But the
slow.
last 10 or 15 minutes are great.
It's a
But
great
that
show.
45 minutes building up is a little. And then there's a subplot with a drone pilot guy, which never really goes anywhere. That's totally pointless on that part. And then there's his romance where he's falling in love with a girl that works at a local hospital. And you get to see him go on some dates and stuff like that.
So, yes or no?
I say yes, you should watch it. I'd probably
Would
give
you
it.
subscribe to Amazon Prime?
If I didn't have Amazon Prime when I dropped $100 to see it, no. But you still get your free shipping and stuff, so you can always do that as well.
2-day shipping is an amazing thing.
Yeah, so there you go, Jack Ryan. Probably about a 7 out of 10. They need to tweak some stuff for the next season. one of the last things too is he's working in the office. He doesn't have that beard. And he's sitting at the desk. All you think is Jim Halpert the whole time.
Tuna.
Yeah, grow your beard back.
3-hole punch Jim.
Season 2, he needs a beard. That's all I'm saying. Make it
He's
a
a
little easier.
badass with the beard on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs his
So-
beard.
Now, the Jack Ryan movie, there's been Jack Ryan movies, correct? There's a
Yeah.
Tom Cruise one, right?
No,
who's
that's Jack.
Ryan?
That's Jack Reacher. Get your
Oh,
Jack's right,
jeez,
man.
I got the wrong Jack.
Yeah. So this has nothing to do with the movies.
Oh.
So unlike Indiana Jones, where his stories kind of tie into each other, this is more like James Bond, the old James Bond, where this movie doesn't connect to this movie and this TV show doesn't connect to that. It's the same character and the same premise over and over, but they don't all tie in together. It's kind of weird, kind of hard to explain, but that's how it works. And a little side note, Stars had a marathon of old James Bonds on.
Okay.
I never really watched the 1967 versions of
Like
James
Sean
Bond
Connery?
with Sean Connery.
Devastated to hear that.
Or like On Her Majesty's Secret
Yeah,
Service?
this was Diamonds Was Forever. I'm telling you, these are borderline slapstick. These, no. At the end of this
Yeah,
movie,
to Weeks' point, there's some James Bond people who are gonna stab you.
oh, I
when they
don't.
see you.
Whatever, they can say whatever they want. Watch them now. Those are. I think Austin Powers is more serious. There's a part in the Diamonds Are Forever. They're on an oil rig, and the main bad guy's escaping. He's the
Hold
guy.
on, spoiler.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, from 1967. So he's that bad guy with the white cat, what Bowfinger,
yeah,
whatever.
we'll go with that.
He gets in a sub, and it's a mini sub about the size of this couch, and James Bond gets the crane control of the guy in the sub. And he's just moving around, slapping him against the walls and stuff. And the guy's in there going, "What are you doing, you moron? Quit throwing me around!"
1967.
Oh, it's so
There's some guy with a toy in a tub.
it was terrible. Those old Bond movies are terrible. I don't care what
Oh,
anyone says.
man.
Watch them now as an adult. You'll be like, wow. You'll be astonished they even made
Google
movies.
Mark is at hotmail.com.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I find my
But
name.
again, I always want to go
Old-
on record. Those Daniel Craig Bond movies are awesome.
Oh,
They're
Those are the best.
Oh man, they're so good.
Watch the original. You'll be shocked those came from that.
But what's funny is like a lot of people are like, I think the Daniel Craig Bonds are coming to an end, or they should come to an end, and I'm like, wait, what? Like he needs like 5 more of these.
He's really good at those roles.
They are
Yeah.
so good.
Way better than Pierce Bronson ever was.
Yeah, but that was like in the beginning part of like CG too. You watch those Pierce Brosnan ones; they're so bad. Oh my
they're
God.
terrible too. The one with Halle Berry, where she's not even aiming the gun, but she's just shooting everybody like this.
But again,
Oh.
I can't.
He comes in
those
on a
Daniel Craig
surfboard.
ones, Man.
Yeah. So I'm not a big. I've never really seen the show. So can you guys explain to me what Ink Master Grudge Match is?
Okay, so it's on now what is now the Paramount Network, which used to be Spike TV. And basically, there's an old TLC tattoo show called Miami Ink. There's a guy named Chris Nunez who's one of the judges. There's another guy named Oliver Peck who's a well thought of in the tattooing world and all this kind of stuff.
Married to Kat Von D.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
all you can see how it's all tied together. And then what's his name? Dave Navarro is the main celebrity host of this. Now, what's crazy is this is a tattoo competition, right? So it's not like on Top Chef when someone screws up a filet mignon or something like that. You go, oh, it tastes like crap. They bring in these human canvases, right? And they tattoo something permanent on these people. And then it's a great show to watch because Chris Nunez and Oliver Peck destroy everyone's tattoos. Oh my God! So like,
Who's Chris Nunez?
he is from
He's
Miami
from Miami.
Ink. He's popular with tattoo randomness. But imagine you went on there, got something tattooed on your leg, and then someone just picked it apart for 5 minutes, and that's what they do to these people.
But the best part about the human canvas is, you must be hard up for a free tattoo. I can see going like towards the end with the finale if you got like the top tier artists, but like week 1, like last week.
Where there's like 15.
Here it is. You're tattooing something that may not be your genre of tattoo. You may be like a black and white color artist and want you tattoo
Watercolor.
watercolors
Yeah.
or Japanese koi fish.
You're gonna murder
And you're tattooing
It's
a
great.
koi fish on a person's leg, and the person tattooing it is saying, "This is not my." This is
And
not
you're
my
under
genre.
time
This is my
constraints.
first time I've ever tattooed a koi fish, and you're sitting there and you're listening to this, visualizing what butcher's going down on your
it's-
calf, and like you said,
It's so good.
Oliver
And-
Nunez comes behind and says, "That's the worst tattoo
I
I've
mean,
ever seen."
so again, for those of you who watch a lot of reality competition, there's some good judges like Simon Cowell and stuff like that. Oliver Peck and Chris Nunez destroy these people. I mean, they just obliterate these tattoos and nitpick like hand and anatomies, and you don't see it when you go, oh, it's a cool tattoo, and then they go, well, look at the chin, and then it's got like a weird butt chin and all that. It's like, so the person's at home obsessing on the the issues that were pointed
and then
out.
You as the canvas are standing there while Oliver Nunez is picking apart your tattoo.
Yeah.
It's just.
So the new season just premiered. It's two former artists, a guy named Clean Rock One and a guy named Christian, are having a grudge match, which is basically like two chuckleheads that like argued a lot on the show. They brought them back, and hopefully they argue some more, and they run teams now. But again, go there for the reality of someone has this crap permanently tattooed on themselves, and they're screwed.
Show's great.
Yeah.
And like the finale, they'll tattoo like an
whole
entire
back.
Like I've seen it go from like the neck all the way down to the hamstring.
And they do other ones live.
Yeah, and they'll tattoo the guy's skull and come across. It's like I'm gonna lay there as a human canvas and have like a 40-hour back tattoo of some like crazy bird. It's like, all right.
Yeah. So again, that's the Paramount Network and Ink Master. It's a great show. It's on a lot. Though.
It is.
It's
Ink
like
Master
Bar
Angels,
Rescue.
That wasn't the one that.
There's a lot of Ink Master stuff, but I highly recommend anything Ink Master.
So there you go, Ink Masters. Did you hear about the tattoo parlor in, I think it's New Orleans? They have a gumball machine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dave and Chuck talk about that.
Yes, and you put money in the gumball machine, and it comes out, and it's a random tattoo, and whatever it is, that's the tattoo you get on your body.
Or you have to pay X amount to spend it again.
Who would do this?
Idiots. What is
Yeah,
that?
people
I'm just gonna randomly.
Yeah.
Let's go.
If it's like a
you
rainbow
only have-
tattoo they're gonna put on your lower back.
You could buy another house. You only get so much
No.
skin. You know what I mean? Like you aren't gonna be able to give me another leg so I got some more room.
Well, there you go. So a bunch of different ink options out there for everybody. Got one review this week. It's in Ohio. It's the Ohio Drive-Thru Safari. It's next to Sandusky, Ohio.
It's in that whole area because of Cedar Point's kind of with Kalahari.
Yeah.
The drive-through zoo that you're going to talk about, and like I said, Cedar Point. That whole area over the past couple decades has just built up to this massive tourist area.
Yeah, and it's the same way as you take to Cedar Point. If you're coming from Michigan, you're just straight 75 to Route 2 straight down. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. I got these free passes from work. What they do charge, if you have to go, it's $20 a person in the car. So, and even the kids are that much.
So, can you hide the Holly in the trunk? What do we do? Do we bring a big blanket and cover her up? What do we?
My suggestion would be to see if you can get. They have a lot of group deals and stuff you can get.
Because that can get for a family of four is $80.
Yeah. So you can get pricey, and you got to pay $15 for a cup of food to feed to the animals.
They let you roll the windows down. A lot of these drive-through safaris, they that's
not this one. They
must not have zebras or not rather like.
There's nothing violent, anyways. But there's not even any monkeys. So we had a package deal, so we got the 4 in the car for free, and they gave us a free thing of food. Food comes in like a big plastic cup. It's all these pellets. So when you drive to the gate, and there's signs about 20 yards down the road. It says, "Don't roll your window down until you're here," because they don't want people.
So it lets you know where you went to.
Because they don't want all the animals backed up right when everyone comes in. Because these things, it's like
they know you.
They know you're coming.
Oh, it's like Walking Dead. It's like you pull up,
wow.
and they just woof, and it's
wow. What kind of animals are they?
Well, when you first get in, it's probably about 40 alpacas.
Those are like the llama-y looking things.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Very friendly. We had all 4 windows down. I mean, it's like a Muppet. Just comes up and they stick their heads.
They're ready for you.
We gave the food to Holly, but even like me and Michelle was up front. They're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
They were looking for your cup. Where's that cup, fat guy? Give me the cup.
So the highlight was, and I think I told you guys, Holly's in the back with the food. Now they tell you to stick the food outside the car, but Holly
their head's in the car.
Yeah, so Holly just left it right here inside the car. The alpaca ate it, swallowed it. I thought it didn't swallow it, but then while its head's still in the car, just sneeze snot all over Holly's legs. And she was wearing shorts.
That's gross.
She's like, "Oh!"
She just got alpaca goobs all over.
Yeah, and we took her friend with us, and she was cracking up. We were all dying laughing.
Cool.
So it was really cool. And then you go through a big gate, and this is the part that got me.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So another big gate, and you got to go about 20 yards, and you can roll your windows up. This is deer, antelope and deer. there's like 200 of these things.
Oh, yeah?
And some of them are huge. They're like bigger than your car. And this one had a rack on it. Yeah, probably what do they call that? A 20-point buck or whatever.
Jeez.
And
Some hillbillies in the corner counting up his 12 gauge.
Yeah, its back was eye level with me. So its head was above the car. So, but this
Is that
one,
a caribou? Like, what is that?
I think it was an antelope or some form of deer.
Jeez.
But this one didn't take no for an answer. So we got thousands of, and the deer were way worse than the alpaca. They would like just stand in front of your car. I'd like just go along, creep along, and like bump them so they'd move
You
out of the
literally
way.
hit the animal?
Not hard, like you're barely
Asshole.
moving. You had to. They won't move.
I got places to be.
Yeah, no, they would move eventually, but but this big one decided it wanted in our car and started eating the top of the window, and then started eating our rearview mirror.
Like, you could hear it crunching it?
I'm looking at the window watching it. It's like nang, 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 just chewing
So
on
you
the.
have teeth marks on your side view mirror?
Well, it didn't. It pulled a little bit on it and stopped. Then licked the window, and then on the side of the car, it just wiped its butt on the side of the car.
You were raped by a big
It
deer.
had a crap streak on the side of the car. So this car was pretty funky. But the deer were bad. I mean, there was a lot of them. They were way more than the alpaca. And once you get past them, then you go into the bison and buffalo.
Those are cool.
Yeah, but those were
You realize
just
how powerful and big an animal can be.
yeah, another just monsters walking by and just they were dripping and drooling everywhere. We didn't even roll the windows down. Well, you're thinking about drooling
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so that's crazy. And then you come around, you can feed some giraffe. The giraffe they had behind a fence, but their heads came down over the top, and you can feed them and stuff.
They all eat the same couple whatever?
No, the bison, the deer, and the alpaca will eat those pellets, whatever those pellets are. The giraffe you have to buy like
Oh,
$5.
man, that's an upgrade.
Yeah, we did. It's $5 for a couple leaves. They eat these leaves. And then there's zebras, and you gotta pay $5 for some carrots, and that's what the zebras eat. So Michelle fed the zebras and stuff, and then once you get out of there, they have a little walk-through zoo you can walk through. It was nice. I mean, if you can get a
Was that
good
more of
deal,
a standardy zoo, the walk-through zoo, or?
yeah, but really small,
Okay.
really small. But they don't charge you for it or anything. Oh, the other one,
Yeah, that's part of the $20 a person, but they
Yeah.
don't charge you.
yeah, well, you already paid. And you could drive through it as many times as you want. But after I went to the deer one, I was like, I
just got raped by
I
a
don't-
mega deer.
I don't want to see that mega deer again. So they have an aviation or what's the thing they call with the birds?
Aviatorium or
Yes,
something like
that's
that?
it.
Aviatorium something?
I say aviation. We had planes. just zipping around.
B-52 and a sparrow.
It was filled with little parakeets, like hundreds of them, and you can get a stick, and then you can feed them, and they fly on the stick. You seen
Yeah,
that?
at the Toledo Zoo too.
The
What's a
best.
stick? What do we
It'll be a stick like covered in whatever they
Yeah,
eat.
some kind of
seed.
seed.
So they'll
bird
fly
food
right
or
up
something.
and sit on your hand or the stick and then eat the.
There's
Gonna
a
do that.
there's a little girl like Lorna's age just doing it. The two 14-year-old girls we have are screaming and ducking and running. I'm like, you wusses.
They can be really still for them to come over.
Yeah.
Joe movie would be like a
Yeah, you gotta
statue.
be real still and then they'll fly over.
They eventually get, but the best part was, we're right next. That zoo is right next to an airport, and there was a lot of military helicopters coming and going, and one helicopter came low, and all the birds took off and flew. And when they did that, they crapped on Holly's friend right on her shirt.
It's supposed to be good luck.
Well,
According to what I've heard.
she didn't sound like she had good luck. She was not very happy.
So your daughter's covered in alpaca snot.
Yeah, and her friend's covered in bird
friend's
crap.
man,
Good
her
times.
bag of
What kind of wave are you guys signing for your car to go next? Because I've seen those videos where monkeys like rip off.
They take your
mirrors
antenna and beat you.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was no waiver unless it's on the. There was probably
It's probably
disclaimers
sign,
on the
this is
coupon.
screwed.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they ain't covering nothing.
Yeah.
Some alpaca size of rip off.
No, alpaca attack.
So there you go. The Ohio Safari. If you get a good deal on the group, I highly suggest it. You'll have some fun.
Is that what's it called? You're doing a bang up job.
I don't know. Look up Safari Ohio. It'll pop up.
Safari in Sandusky. or
Yes,
something?
yes, something along that line. It's terrible. I don't know what I did this week. I didn't keep up on anything. So next, unfortunately, we're going to, like we said last week, we're going to retire the Wrestling 3 Minutes. Everyone's
But
very sad
of
here.
note, Wiggs was kind enough to contribute to the show. He's a multi-guest time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he brought in an AJ Styles, Chip Gaines,
Chip Gaines.
Money in the
actual
Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
He's the official
He
man
looks
guy
just
on
like
the Fat
Chip.
Guys
I don't know
podcast.
where JoJo's at, but Wiggs is spot on with his Chip Gaines reference. And he will forever be in the May Street studio now.
So we're going to replace it with the 5 minutes because we record usually on Sundays. So we're gonna do like maybe a 5-minute recap of the college football from Saturday, maybe a little longer. But the first thing up I want to say to all Michigan fans out there, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It was the marquee game of the week.
It was.
It was the marquee game of the week, but it was also the marquee game as far as that. But
three notable games of note for the weekend was Notre Dame versus Michigan, Miami versus LSU, and then the one today, Florida State versus Virginia Tech. And Heather is apparently moving furniture
she just
in the
fell
other
down
room.
the stairs. I
So-
gotta check on my wife.
What everyone watched? I was at Waze's house for the Notre Dame Michigan. What did everyone think of Notre Dame?
Well, hold on a
Michigan?
second before you get too far. Now, the thing that is kind of annoying me with Notre Dame football is they've gotten away from the 3:30 starts a lot. So
Right.
now they're bumping to under the lights on any
Prime time,
yeah,
on the marquee
unless they're
games.
playing like the dregs of the ACC, everything's a 7:30 start.
And
now.
your game will be a 7:30.
Yes,
start,
it will be.
guaranteed.
Yeah. And that's one of those things where, college football purists are kind of getting like, oh, come on, like college football represents a noon and a 3:30 start, but
Well, when these networks are paying
yeah, you gotta
tens
pay
of
those
millions of dollars
athletes,
for these broadcasting rights, they're going on prime
all those
time.
scholarships aren't free apparently,
No.
and it's crazy. But that's only my gripe, just because, like I said, sometimes. You also can get like a couple different games on late at night, and you really got to do way
They're
more
all at the
bouncing.
same time. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's like the games are on. You'll have multiple marquee games on at 3:30 or 8 o'clock. And
Yeah.
It's like
You got to spread your time
you
between the
can't.
two
There's
of them.
3 games on I wanted to watch Saturday 8 o'clock, and we were watching mostly Michigan Notre Dame because it was hilarious. But
Yeah, I think that, and Steve kind of led into it, that Notre Dame looked great in the first half. Michigan was really stumbling. We talked kind of a little bit before the actual podcast today about, the vaunted U of M defense did not look too crazy.
Well, to their credit, they looked better in the second half.
Yeah, they tightened up. I don't know if that's
Notre
them
Dame
tightening
didn't
up.
do anything in the second
Yeah,
half.
I was
Notre Dame
gonna
went
say.
back to like just conservative ball. They didn't try to really stretch the field or anything.
And they scored a touchdown that was not
Yeah, it
an illegal guy downfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
some
hate
bull.
those. I hate those things. He's a tight end, man. He wasn't on the line, so
Well, it's like
he
he covered up or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure BB's shaking his hand at the podcast, like, you don't know the rules, you idiot.
Yeah.
But like, it's like you covered up, or everyone knew what was going on. It's just, it gets a little crazy.
So the takeaways I got: Michigan has no offensive line, which is weird. I mean, they couldn't block to save their
And,
lives.
With Harbaugh wanting to play like that old Bo Schembechler style of offense, you're going to need some big nasties to run the ball as much as you want, and they just don't have them.
They can't block.
The problem with Michigan is like last year, you thought they would have kind of taken care of some of these issues in the offense. The offensive line can't block nobody. 4-man rushes were coming through untouched through A gaps. And then the offensive play calling is just atrocious.
It's very old school at times.
They don't have an offensive coordinator. It's like play calling by committee. They got a passing coordinator, Pep Hamilton. They have a running coordinator. They don't have anybody who's going to call the plays. This is my job. I call the plays. You have Shea Patterson.
I was going to say, what is your opinion on Shea
Well,
Patterson?
I feel sorry for Shea Patterson. It's like
You think he's
the,
left out to
the
dry?
whole season, off season, it was we got our guy. We got our guy. I mean, the expectations for him are through the roof, and it ain't his fault that he is a spread quarterback, plays well on the run, and here he is, play action.
But
every GD passing play,
Yeah, it was.
they would roll.
But he knew what university he was coming to.
I know, but you have a quarterback like you need to change offensive schemes.
Harbaugh is not
Well,
going to do that.
that's why Harbaugh's an idiot.
Well,
And eventually they're going to want to
That's
get
for
rid of
another
him.
show, and I would concur.
But, I mean, there's a few plays where they rolled him out,
Yeah.
and he threw BB for a first down, man. Like he that's what he does. He throws him to run, and then they wouldn't go back to it.
No.
And I
That's
have-
not Bo Schembechler
I have my
football.
second stat of the day, if you
Uh-oh.
want.
Oh, let's
And-
hear it.
All right, I couldn't believe this one just today. It has been 50 quarters since Michigan has thrown a touchdown pass to a wide receiver.
Wow.
Wow.
Week 2 against Cincinnati. So it will be a calendar year next week.
How is that possible?
Since they have thrown a touchdown pass to a wideout. Because all they do is throw tight ends.
But that's
But you want because
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, it's
There you go.
2018.
Yeah,
all right,
well,
we're not lining up an
This is a guy rocking
I-formation
khakis and rocking his horn-rimmed glasses like it's 1950s.
Did
still.
you see any of the college game day signs over Saturday?
I heard
one
about
of them
them.
was like Harbaugh's khakis are as high as my student loan debt.
Those game day signs are great.
They're hilarious.
There were a lot of Urban Meyer ones.
Yeah.
It's
rightfully
back when
so.
wrestling used to be funny. You used to have some good signs too.
I don't know. The love affair with Jim Harbaugh is coming to an end at
And
some point. With
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't
but-
beat a winning program.
he can't beat
Yeah,
nobody. I mean, they beat the bad teams. They beat the bad teams soundly. But when they go and play a top level team, they don't look prepared.
No,
They don't. I mean,
especially offensively. They do defensively, but their defense is. I mean, we're watching it. Their defense is insanely just rush 7 super
they play
fast.
too fast.
Yeah,
It's like Rashawn Gary's.
and if we get you, great. If we don't throw it
Yeah.
over our heads.
He'll beat his tackle, then he's in the backfield behind the quarterback. Quarterback steps up in the pocket and either runs or whatever. And then that 3rd and 18 when Winbush ran for a first down.
So who does, and I'm putting everyone on the spot, who does Michigan got coming up this week? Does anyone know?
Western.
Okay,
Well,
so that's
Michigan
going to be a
will win their
squash
next-
match. that they
Michigan
get.
will win their next 4 games, look great,
And
and then
they'll
go
run
to
East
East
Lansing,
Lansing,
yeah,
and
get
then,
smoked.
I mean, not to say get smoked, but
But
when
not
they,
coming
when
with
they
a
play
W.
a team that's
Now, there's another team too, because Michigan State struggled like Utah State or something
they always
crazy.
struggles week 1.
Utah
I don't know,
State?
They always do. Go look back at the past. They always
Come
struggle.
on.
That was a good game, though.
A good game?
it
You
wa-
turned it on?
It's a Friday night.
Congratulations.
I'm married with a kid. I'm
I don't know anything other than
Yeah.
that.
I was watching Jack Ryan,
I watched the second half of that game. It was
Wow.
and then Appalachian State, Penn State was a pretty good.
Yeah, it was a squeeze. They had to go into overtime to
Yeah,
get past
yeah.
that. What is with that team just disrupting the Big Ten?
I
like,
don't know.
schedule them if you're out your Big Ten team.
So the other game, Miami LSU, thought this would be a close one. LSU handled them easily. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I think the Ed Orgeron guy has to either, get to it or they're going to bounce him. And I
Anyone-
think they actually showed up.
Anyone got an Ed Orgeron impression? I want to run. You ever hear that
Need
guy
some
talk?
subtitles for that guy.
You cannot understand that guy.
I
straight from
think
the bayou.
I think that Mark Richt and all that kind of stuff, and I think that the turnover chain stuff and all that kind of stuff is, I don't know, it's a lot of flash and not a lot of reality. They've lost like how many in a row now? 4 in a row or something like that. Yeah.
Mark Richt's another guy. He's 9-3, 10-2.
Can't get over it.
He's a good coach, but he's never going to win a championship. That's just who he is. I mean, LSU looked good. I mean, Joe Burrow, grad transfer from Ohio State, thought he had a pretty good grasp
This
of
guy
the
right here,
offense.
grad transfer.
Yeah.
He's
I
up
mean, I
on
thought he had a
stuff.
pretty good grasp of the offense for being named a starter, only being there for 4 or 5 months, or it is. Defensively, they look good. They can run the ball. I was pleasantly surprised.
I think you took away from it as LSU was better. I took away from I think Miami went the other direction.
Well, no,
That's what I
they
took
did.
away.
Well, as much as Miami went in a direction, I think LSU went in the opposite direction. I mean, because everybody thought this was going to be a down, and it still may be a down period for LSU. I don't know, but I thought they played pretty good.
Miami's quarterback looked terrible.
I mean, that game was
what's his
33-3. Like before you knew it, that's
Yeah.
what turned it
Kurt
off.
Rozier or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that's his name?
he looked terrible. So when is the FSU game on tonight or is it on
Right.
Yeah.
8 o'clock? What time is it now?
8 o'clock.
Oh, I was gonna say actually Facebook Live. Give us an update.
Not that we know what we're doing with it.
So there you go. A little preview of the college football. We're gonna do this each week. A little recap. Cover a lot of Notre Dame, Michigan, a lot of Big Ten stuff like that. Games in the big games of the week. I mean, it's pointless covering Alabama. They're just gonna smoke everybody.
Well, they have issues though, because again, Saban's going bananas over. I don't like quarterback by committee. I think that's just a recipe for
I'll
disaster.
tell you what, 2 was good.
But then
Yeah.
That was another game opposite of the Michigan game, so we didn't get to watch much of it. But I thought this might be the year Alabama took a step back just because of all the turnover on the coaching staff. But
yeah,
no,
40 to 49 to nothing or whatever they want.
If he plays, because they don't ever had a quarterback really that's like elite. I mean, they've always had like guys, game managers
system,
or whatever.
man.
I know,
It's
but
like the
they might,
Patriots.
but they might finally have a
You're
guy
never
that can
bigger
do
than the
both.
system.
And if they score 45 points a game with him, they just might as well give him the title now.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, I mean,
So there you go. Now we're gonna. There you go.
That's a solid transition.
Segue there. Speaking of segues and scooters, we're going back to everyone's favorite subject, Scoot Light. What is it?
Scoot
Light?
culture,
Scoot
man.
culture. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So Vespa, people have heard of them. They've been around for years.
Piaggio technically makes a Vespa.
Yes, they are coming out with a fully electric scooter. And what are your thoughts on that, Charles?
Well, I guess for me being almost 300 pounds, it doesn't do me any good that it's a 50cc equivalent. So I couldn't even. The thing would just die if I jumped on it.
You make it to the end of the driveway.
Yeah, the smallest scoot I can get on is a 150, and so it's neat to see because I think that putting electric in scooters could probably get it out to more people. But the issue is for me is going to be with a Vespa. There's going to be such a premium. It's probably going to be an $8,000 scooter.
It's the hipster model.
Yeah, extra hipster. You got to grow a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, 50cc.
Yeah.
$8,000.
I guarantee you it's going to be outrageously expensive because a regular Vespa 150, like I've chronicled our randomness on the podcast, is like $6,000. So by the time this is their first model, it's real limited, and Vespa loves that limited stuff, and Piaggio loves to do that. I think it's going to be really expensive. They haven't even announced pricing. They haven't announced like a hard date of when it's going to come out. And like I said, to me, the displacement's too low. The nice part about electric vehicles is you can get the torque really high up on them, and you can make them so that they really can move some butt. But not this one. It's going to be really wimpy and kind of just lame. I think it's going to be a terrible thing.
So there you go, the new full electric scooter. Terrible for fat people.
Yeah.
If you're 100 pounds and looking to run to Starbucks, it's a great thing for you.
Yeah, if you're hipster to Wiggs' point.
Yeah, and you got about $8,000 to waste.
Yeah.
$8,000. Wow.
Watch it. I'm marking that right down right now. It's going to be ridiculous.
Oh. How do you think the battery life will work? Do you think it'll
I'm
last?
sure it'll be comparable. I'm sure you'll get like 40, 50 miles or something out of it. And, if you weigh 95 pounds and have a handlebar mustache, you'll get to go. But that's not for me in my scoot culture. I need a little more beef behind my scoot.
So look for the electric scooter coming soon to you.
Well, there's also a lot, because now the big push with Harley and all that kind of stuff. Harley announced 2 different electric models that they're planning to put out. So I think that there's been like Zero motorcycles been out for a while and all that. I think that there's a place for electric and battery operated 2-wheel conveyances or whatever you want to call them. But
I just hope if they ever make a 2-wheel electric, of course they will, motorcycle, I just hope it's a lot quieter. Those damn things rumble your windows when they come down the road.
The exact opposite. You won't hear it coming. You'll blast into someone.
So I don't think Harley, the people want that for the noise. I mean, I
think
see
a lot
a
of
Harley
it's
driver
cachet.
want to listen. Doesn't have an electric Harley.
I don't know, man. I don't think a lot of people want a Harley built in India or whatever that's going on right now either.
Oh,
so
yeah. That's gonna piss a lot.
That's a pretty crazy culture there.
Yeah, do they not know their customer base?
Yeah.
They're gonna move overseas.
The Trumpsters don't want an Indian, you know what I mean? Like Harley.
Pretty nuts. So we're gonna end with a couple rants here, and I agree with Wiggs on his take here coming up. Panhandling, tip jars. Everywhere you go, people
I
want
think
money.
I'll record with you.
Tip jars?
Yeah.
It's not.
Tip jars where they're
It's weird, admittedly. At Cold Stone, where there's a tip jar,
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
That's what I'm talking
It
about.
bothers you?
It looks like when you go to a place like, say, a Jersey Mike's and you're getting your sub made. I
It's
don't know what the
delicious.
guy makes
First
an
of all,
hour.
it's a sub
What's-
above, and I love
yeah,
it.
exactly.
We should make a lot because those
What's
subs cost a
Yeah,
lot.
it's like every
So
time you go to
good,
these
though.
places and they got that little chip jar out there, it's like, dude,
Like, what am I supposed to do
you're
here?
making my sub. You're getting paid an hour. Like, why should I have to tip you to make my sub? It's not like I'm
Yes.
coming for sit-down service at a restaurant. I have no issues with that, and I tip above.
That's
and
what
beyond.
everyone's gonna cap on us about. You don't tip your waiters.
I gotta be honest
That's
with
not
you.
what we're talking about.
I've
though.
been on a rant with Heather for this for a while, and I know there's people that might listen to this. I don't know. I think that a restaurant server is the most useless position on the planet. I'm sorry. Like, just point out where my food is and I'll go grab it, and show me where your drink station
Well, you've been to
is.
those McDonald's now where they got the big menu boards.
Yeah, and
where
and
you
I'm,
don't go to talk to the person.
well, I'm all for like at a McDonald's, like
It's gonna
just
happen
walking
like that
up,
at
but
some
like
point,
why
too.
at a restaurant? Like, when was the last time, right? You were like at an Applebee's and someone suggested something. You're like, yes, I think I will. I think I'll do that. Never. It never happens.
Well,
I can't-
especially at those type of restaurants. If you're going to, you know,
but I feel bad if I don't give 20%. I feel like
no,
a
I
dick.
know, I'm with you. That's the same thing.
It's like total guilt.
and that's when I see those tip jars at like random places. It drives me up the wall. It's like,
So is the biggest one, like, I agree. I don't think at a fast food joint someone should give, you know, I gotta kick you a couple bucks because you tried
Yeah,
and made my
it's-
burger. Yeah, it's a
that
weird
drives me
thing.
crazy, man.
But now, to your point, the panhandler stuff here in Michigan is out of control,
It's an
man.
epidemic. I'm telling you.
Is there like a weird message board that exists that says like this exit of this interstate's not covered?
Listen,
Go to that one.
I do construction, so I drive all over the place to different jobs. And they're literally on every exit. I mean, you can be Ann Arbor, get off in real nice Ann Arbor, posh town, and here's some person just sitting. They'll be on both sides of the entrance.
Yeah.
So it's like, do they fight over? I got eastbound exit this today. You got west yesterday. I mean, we argue. I've seen
This is
people,
my corner, man.
I've seen
Get off
people
here.
bring dogs.
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen
you want
people
the
with whole
petty,
families, and it's
then.
like I stare straight ahead.
Yeah,
It's like,
don't make
I
eye
don't give to
contact.
people, but it's like how many people you got just scamming out there at the Homer and Simpson episode?
Have
It's
you
like,
given to someone off the exit before?
Not off the exit. I
never have.
saw this lady every single day on 8 Mile and Telegraph, across from like where that Kmart used to be.
Yeah,
And she would sit there, and I mean, it would be pouring the rain. I'd see her. I saw her all the time, and I gave her money once I got caught at the light. 'Cause I'm
But like, I guess how she must have a home.
I know.
If she's
I know.
always at the same exit, she's got to have a
You
home,
see
right?
the guy probably all the time right here, exit 94 and Telegraph.
Oh, yeah.
94
I mean,
Telegraph's bad.
Oh yeah.
It's everywhere.
Van Born and Telegraph. There's a
I mean,
couple
I've
of
seen
guys.
whole families like at an exit of a Walmart. I've
Walmart's
seen
are
young
notorious
girls,
for
you know, I mean, they're trying to get money to get to, you know, a bus ticket to get here. You get
And-
approached at a gas station anymore.
And like, here's the thing: like, what it does is it like turns you off and it bitters you to
it
like
does. To
someone
help
who
somebody
actually,
needs it.
yeah.
Because I
it's
don't know
like-
who scamming want to go
Yeah.
get, you know, a fifth of something when they leave there. It's like,
or a dime of what bag? I don't know what's
Yeah.
in that. I don't know what's going on.
Well, the other one we were talking about earlier is when you buy something and it comes $11.37.
round up.
Do you want to round up to help save cancer?
That's
no,
family video, by the way.
Well,
It's everywhere.
it's
It's like,
a lot of fast
you
food
want to
joints.
round up for St. Jude's. And if you say no, you hate sick kids. It's like, I've already done this 3 times today.
Yeah,
you know?
people giving you the stink eye because you're like, no.
I
I'm
do
good.
it all the time, just so it makes me feel a little bit better with myself. Especially for sick kids.
It's a pretty crazy thing, but you know, like you said, I don't know. I just get really like. Do you buy the Girl Scout cookies at the entrance of the grocery store and
No,
stuff like
I'll
that too?
avoid the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, don't
at
make
all
eye
times.
contact
No,
and like.
it's weird. I mean, you got the girls. I feel bad for the Boy Scouts. Here they are trying to peddle popcorn. Nobody wants to damn popcorn. And these little girls be like,
You
your
know-
daughter, you want to buy my
Oh,
cookies?
man.
Like, God, dude, I don't want
She did that in the
$6 for your
kindergarten.
box of cookies or whatever. It's like,
It's
I
awesome.
didn't even know Boy Scouts sold popcorn.
yeah, you ever seen with the tubs of popcorn?
No,
Yeah,
I've never seen
I've
that.
seen them a few times. They get
What
served.
about like the poppy people that are always out with like the newspaper and the little poppy things? What
Oh,
is
yeah.
that?
You
yeah.
don't take it, man. Once you take that, you're giving them money.
Yeah, and that's.
Or the
that's
guy
another
cleaning your
reason.
windshield in Detroit and
Oh,
trying
I
to
had
get the
that.
little toothpick.
I
in
don't-
there.
I don't even like the firefighters with the boots when they're stopping at the lights.
I think what it boils down to, people, anyone listening, we're terrible people.
We're just very cautious.
Bob
and
volunteers
skeptical.
and we don't want to give anybody money.
Yeah, here's all these
Skeptics,
terrible.
that's all.
Yeah.
Because every panhandler's a vet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Easy.
no, come on.
Easy.
You can't tell me 90% of the signs you see from males
Stolen
on the side
valor. Is that what you're trying to say, Wiggs?
I'm
So,
a vet. You know,
James Bond fans are going after me.
Oh,
Vets are going to go after Bikes.
Ooh, man.
He's right, though.
You start reading signs. 90% are vets.
That's
It's another reason for you to feel sorry, give money, and it's like I don't know if you are or not. If you did, thank you for your service, but
Yeah, Wiggs as well. Put that out there.
So there it is. We're all insensitive pricks. You want to end your rant on covering what's happening at the May Street Studios?
Yeah, so here's the thing, people. I'm trying to improve. Our house was built in the 1930s, and we're trying to improve around here. And it was like 3 different types of building materials. I had aluminum siding, I had a wood backboard. It was just a disaster. So we saved our pennies for quite a few years to get this whole house one uniform building material. And they were doing a good job vinyling the whole house, and then it came to do the front of the house, and they took the old brick veneer, one of the 3 different materials that were on my house, and they peeled it off. And when they did that, it exposed the fact that the whole front of my house is literally falling off. So I have no structure in the windows, I have no sheathing underneath anything. So for the next 3 weeks of my life, I get to at least get the house so that it'll be watertight. It'll still look like a construction zone because, my whole house is always going to look like a construction zone. But it's just a complete disaster. So while all that was going on, Magoo ate the lunch of one of the people that were like working on this vinyl siding.
Is that what happened?
He stole one of this crazy hound dog, right? They had a bag full of like whatever. And of course Magoo just loves food. So as soon as he went outside to use the bathroom, one of the guys just innocently like chucked it in the bag and kept it moving, and they were cleaning up. Well, he of course found the bag of this guy's lunch from like this afternoon, and immediately housed whatever was in there. Fast forward 2 days later, Heather's like, something's wrong with Magoo. He's off. This is after she sent me photos of the front of the house falling off. She's like, something's also wrong with Magoo. Fast forward to another day after that, he's got pancreatitis. And pancreatitis is basically a bad dog, like, stomach ache. But at the same time, he wasn't responding to medicine. So it was like, oh, he might have pancreatitis, or he might have a huge lump on his pancreas, and you're going to have to off him, because there's no way you can do this without cutting his gut open. So I'm dealing with the house. I'm dealing with Magoo falling apart. But the nice part is things are slowly coming back together. Magoo's home. He finally started responding to the medicine. He's doing number 1s and 2s everywhere, and he's back wandering around, as people I'm sure have seen wandering on the lovely Facebook Live feed that we're working on here. And you know, the whole front of the house, I'll work on it and we'll get it going. But yeah, so it's been a rough ride the past couple days at the May Street studio.
So in the end, how much does Magoo cost you?
Magoo is a $1,600 bill.
Ooh.
Expensive lunch.
Yeah, no. What was in that guy's lunch?
Dude, he said a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know what it was on it. I don't know. I have no idea. And then we paid $11,000 to have the house re-sided. And then I'll probably be in a couple $1,000s to get it back to where they can finish up that project. And then I'll go on and fix the concrete. Like, we have the big hole in the front of the house as well for it.
So, you said you had ants? Is that true or not?
No, it's moisture. So initially when they took the siding off, the scrawny hillbilly guy that was putting the vinyl siding on was like, it's ants. And I told Heather, it seems a little odd because I think you'd see...
They're just under the windows.
Yeah, and also we would also see some kind of activity or something, and we never have. So I'm like, there's something more to this. And it's a pretty common thing when you started like researching this. Old weepy windows that people just put lipstick on top of and, you know, cover up and no one sees, and just keep going. Well, meanwhile, that moisture over the years just literally ate all the 2x4s that keep the front of your house up, but they just put some fancy little, you know, wall covering over it and kept it moving.
So what do you have to do physically? So you got the beams going up. You have to take each one out one at a time.
I'm not going to take each one out. I'm going to build a false wall 3 feet inside to support the structure that's up above my head.
He's going to build a new wall.
I'm going to pressure fit and friction fit a new wall just inside in my living room.
By yourself?
It's really not rocket science. It sounds crazy, and like some hillbilly if he showed up would tell you $12,000, but it's really not. You take a bunch of 2x4s and you make a wall that then supports my house. Then where my window is, I'm going to cut the window or remove the window out, and all the wood that's there, I'm going to cut out until it goes into solid. Like Wiggs was saying, I'm going to take other 2x4s and sister it to those other 2x4s. It's basically just restructuring the front of your house, but you have to make provisions for the weight load of the top of your house while you cut out the big hole in the front of your house. And that's all I'm going to do.
What happens if you miscalculate on the top
And
of
my
your
whole house will fall in, and we'll be recording from the road. That's what's going to happen. But it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Everything will be fine. We're going to
vibes.
keep that positive mindset, Tony Robbins style. We're going to be good to go. Everything's going to go according to plan. I'm going to be able to redo all the 2x4, all the work that's on there, get some nice new, and then put some nice new 1/2-inch plywood on the front of the house, wrap it up, and then have those guys come back and put the vinyl back up. It all sounds easy, but it's going to be a lot of work, and I will get it done.
So pretty much every day after work you're going to be doing this?
Every day for the rest of my life, I will be wrenching on the May Street studio in some
It's going
capacity.
to look like a Breaking Bad episode from all 3 more weeks. Charles cooking it
Yeah, it's...
to recoup the loss from...
Crystal meth is hard to do.
Well, your house looks like that Breaking Bad episode. It's all tarped off.
But and like I was talking to both of you guys before the problem is with like contractors, even if you wanted to do it, most contractors are booking 4 and 5 weeks out. So I would have to literally have these like tarps on the front of my house for 4 to 5 weeks, plus on top of it probably charge me 4 times the price to just do it myself. So it sounds awful, and it sounds like, holy shit, Charles is going to destroy his house with a bulldozer. But I'm 95% confident that I should be able to put this back up and, you know, put some drywall up and get back to having a somewhat decent house. And the nice part will be, I'll have some fancy new vinyl on the house, and it'll all be one building material for once in my life. So
there you go, folks. That's going to wrap us up for this week. As always, you can catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com or on iTunes or Google Play. And this week we did have our test run of Facebook Live, which was a little bit of a disaster. Hopefully it ran a little bit. We're going to get some feedback from the people that watched.
Some feedback,
Let's see.
Don't ever do it again.
Don't read the reviews, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were great. But thank our special guests and show regular Eric
basically
the
our
Wig
third
Wigington.
chair wigs.
Hopefully one day we're going to get Kerry McDonald in here. Maybe the Wigington brothers are in here. Brandon and Brian, we're going to get those. And my friend Josh might come in here and explain the culture of cornhole.
Yes. So I got to be honest with you, I'm a little peaked about it.
Yeah, that is. So until next time, this is Steve and Charles signing off. See you later.